Picture this. It's Sunday morning, your event starts in 1 hour and you need to assign 50 GPS trackers to your elite category competitors. Nobody done it yet. Your race management software can assign the trackers, but there's no convenient way to export the data. So you export a CSV, then manually rearrange the columns to create an Excel file because the GPS system wants in a different format. You're literally copying and pasting between Excel windows with 1 hour to go. Why isn't there a standard format for this? We have standards for courses, for start lists, and for results, but for GPS tracker assignment, nothing. Hi, I'm Edoardo from the IOF IT Commission, and today I want to show you how the upcoming IOF data standard revision will make this mess and many others disappear. There is one thing that almost every orienteering event in the world depends on, but nobody thinks about until it's missing: the IOF data standard. Think of it as the universal translator for orienteering software. It's why your course setting software and entry system can both talk to the timing system, which talk to the result portal. When it works, it's invisible. When something's missing, well, we're back to that Sunday morning Excel problem. The first versions of the standard were released in the early 2000s, when technology was very different from today. In 2012, version 3 was released, and since then the world has moved forward. In particular, 4G, 5G connectivity, and now satellite internet have made GPS tracking and live data feeds increasingly interesting for our sport as well. Today at events, we no longer print results. Everyone checks them from their smartphones. The technology landscape has changed, and our universal translator was designed in 2012. It's not broken. It works brilliantly for what it was built to do. But the orienteering world has grown, and now it's time to update the standard to match. Let's look at some examples of what is missing in the current standard. Imagine this scenario. Your GPS tracking system was set up using the standard XML export. Athletes are being tracked live. Spectators are watching. Suddenly, competitors start avoiding certain route choices. These routes look perfectly fine on the map. There's no obvious reason to avoid them. Spectators are confused. Why? Because the XML couldn't export your forbidden areas and artificial barriers. The tracking system doesn't display them for the spectators. And here another issue: control circle rendering. In the XML, you couldn't specify how control circles should be trimmed when they overlap important map features. So, when the GPS system draws the course, the purple control circles might cover critical details on the map underneath. Now, this isn't just a theoretical problem. Today, we have platforms that collect GPS traces from hundreds of competitor sports watches after each race and display them for everyone to see and share. It's fantastic for the sport, but it means these issues are very real and happening at events right now. Let's talk about trial. There's quite a long list of workarounds. You can distinguish pre-haul from tempo sections. Only total time was tracked, not individual timed answers. Relay penalties had to be adjusted manually. No support for voided controls, and no way to identify Paralympic athletes in the competitor list. We want to fix all of this with proper trial support. An high-level event uses many different services and from different providers: the radio expert guy, the timekeepers for photocell and photo finish, the punching system provider, and the TV graphic operator. And every single time, this team needs to agree on how to exchange data because there's no standard way. Multiple finish time like chip time and photocell is not supported. Getting radio control data into the result system, you have to make up your home format. TV graphics showing live splits, you just hope your timing guy and TV guy can work together. So, it's clear we need a new version of the standard, but let me explain how we're approaching this. We didn't just wake up one day and decide to rewrite everything. We've been collecting requests, issues, and workarounds from the community for years. This process is open and transparent. Everything happens on GitHub, where you can see discussions, proposals, and decisions. We want bottom-up involvement. Everyone who works with orienteering data, software developers, event organizers, technical experts, should have a voice. And most importantly, these must be useful for the community. We're not imposing anything. We're building together what actually solves real problems. Okay, here is where you come in. And yes, we're asking for homework, but hear me out. Think about the last event you organized, or the last software feature you couldn't quite implement, or that moment when you had to create yet another CSV converter the night before an event. Those are exactly the problems we need to hear about. Maybe you've had to manually adjust results because the system couldn't handle a specific situation, or you've spent hours manually copying data between systems that can talk to each other, or you've built a workaround because the current standard doesn't support your workflow. We want to hear all of it. The deadline is end of December. It's chosen so we can have everything ready for testing in 2026, giving us time to build the tools and support that implementation will need. Our GitHub repository is open right now. You can create an issue describing your problem. If you're technical, you can submit a pull request with a proposed solution. Or just write, this is annoying and here's why. We'll figure out the technical part. No contribution is too small. The reward will be data standard that doesn't require you to manually copy and paste GPS tracker assignment into Excel 1 hour before the start on the race day. Thank you for your attention.